All right, everyone, are we ready? Welcome to Strip Club. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It is January 2016, right? Yeah, because I'm not great with dates. Just ask my husband. January 2016, and traditionally for January Strip Club, we do a batik strip club presentation, and this month is no different. So today, here on the wall, we are featuring the Tonga Sunburst collection from Timeless Treasures, which was actually my third line of fabric with Timeless Treasures. It was bright and cheerful and sunny and just seemed like the perfect collection to use for this January to make it a bright, cheerful, and happy new year. The pattern is called Stargazing. Oh, not good with names either. Stargazing. So do you see the stars in it? Yeah. Okay. Would you like to see how it all comes together? Yes. First, you must know that it starts with 2.5-inch strips. I know, surprise. So, do you like my wand? This was a gift. I have spare stars, so if my star should fall today, I have another star to back it up. So, I probably should have used the other one since this one blends. Okay, so we have strips. These are 2.5-inch strips. In addition to the strips for this pattern, we have background. But we also have 2 accent fabrics. Allow me to point out the accent fabrics with my wand. Accent fabric 1 is the green, and then 2 is the yellow. And you'll see that that accent fabric appears in every block. Do you see it now? Yeah. Okay. You can play with that accent fabric. You could do a lot with it. You can make them really pop. You could actually turn one of them into the same fabric as your background fabric to create a completely different effect. It'll look like it has little square holes in the block. Lots you can do. I really enjoy having different fabrics pull in to set off the design, and this accent fabrics do just that. In this one, they complete the design. On others, they can pop out and really make a secondary design. The block is here. Follow my star. The block is here. And look at all those diagonal points. This is going to be a tough one. I'm not going to lie to you. Why are you laughing? The pattern, I have to say, is designed by Georgette Dell'Orco. That's my mom. And she has designed, I'm not kidding, some of our top-selling patterns. She and I have been doing this together for 12 years or so, writing patterns, often once a month. She designs them. She comes to dinner on Sunday. She gives me a pattern as if, here, I've earned my dinner. You can feed me now. And I say, okay, thank you. I'm going to put this in my bag of tricks, which she thinks means it's filed away and never looked at. But every once in a while, I'll go in that bag of tricks and I pull one out. This is the perfect fabric to use with this design. So this has been in the bag of tricks for a little while. I don't know why it took me so long because I absolutely love it. I'm going to show you how to put it together. So you have the strips and you have your background, and you're going to cut based on what the pattern says. Cut your accent fabrics into 2.5-inch strips, and then your background fabric into some triangles and to some segments. If you don't have the pattern, visit your local quilt shop. But since you are at your local quilt shop, you all have the pattern. So first, let's make the 4-patch. You all know how to make 4 patches? We're going to sew strips together, make a strip set. You see now those 2 accent fabrics. Yes, now sewn as strips. You're going to get 2.5-inch segments. 2.5-inch segments look a little like this. To make the 4-patch, we're simply going to flip one around. So those two together, you have your 4-patch. Next, we're going to make the long star point. Your long star point. Notice in the block, the long star points are all the same fabric. So you're going to be working in sets of 4 of matching fabrics. Okay, so first, make that long star point. Are you ready? It's here. Beautifully organized. It's right here. Right here. It's right here. It's right here. to make your long star point, you will cut a rectangle. Put it aside, sets of 4. Now let's make the short star points. To make the short star point, we have a smaller rectangle, and to the back of that, we are going to draw a diagonal line on a background rectangle. As pictured, don't do it in heavy ink as we show you. I just have the drawn heavy here so you can see it. Draw a light diagonal line. Place the background onto the short point as pictured. Stitch, flip to create this. Okay? Okay, you with me? Now we're going to take those long star point segments and attach it to the short star point segments. Look a little like this. Are you with me? Okay, so there's your long, there's your short. You're going to make 4 matching ones, yes? Okay, here's your tip when sewing this together. Sew from this side down to there. The pattern will tell you. It just makes the stitching a little easier. I'll give you another tip in a minute. Okay, so now we have created all our star points. Do you believe me? Do you? No, you shouldn't believe me, because it doesn't look like a star point. We are going to put our block together now. Remember I told you to cut out triangles? Yeah, I did. Did I tell you to cut out background triangles? Well, make sure you read the pattern. Do this. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. I think this is so cool. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Are you beginning to see it? Do-do-do. 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 You will. From now on, you will hear these sound effects in your head when you lay out this block. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. So you will sew these together by rows as if you're putting a quilt together on points, so they're diagonal rows. The triangle, the 2 points, the triangle. Again, the 2 points, the 4 patch, the 2 points. Can you see me or am I in the way? Triangle, points, triangle. So here's your big tip. When you sew these together, life is easier if you start here and sew out. Or wait, let's do this one first. Start here. We'll sew that to that. Start there and sew out. So there, that to that. Start here and sew out. And then press. The pattern will tell you the pressing directions. Do the same for this. And then when you sew these together, again, start in the middle and sew out. Middle and sew out. Okay? Then you're going to sew these 3 rows together. Okay, I'll admit it's not a square yet. Is that what's throwing you? It's not a square yet? No, you're totally with me? Wow, I was worried because this one's really hard. So imagine it's all sewn together. Doo-doo-doo. And it looks like this. Isn't it great? The next step will be to cut off those hanging tails, and that will complete your star points. My gift to you is that this block squares up 12.5 inches. Yes. If you've never squared up a block, it is always lovely when it's a nice number and you can buy a square up ruler that is exactly that size. So you take your 12.5 inch square up ruler, place it in the center like this. Here, let's do this right side up. Cut off your tips. And there you have your block pictured in the quilt. Do, do, do. Good? Yes. All right, so border 1, we use the same as our background. Border 2, we picked up one of the accent fabrics, and then we chose this wonderful vibrant print as border 3. This is the sunburst fabric. And the pattern is called Stargazing. It is designed by Georgette Dell'Orco, and it is our January release for Strip Club. Would you like to see another sample?
Yes.
All right, I'll show it to you, but I have to confess, I didn't piece it, I didn't quilt it. Somebody sewed the binding on, but it was my job. Why are you laughing? It was my job to hand sew the binding to the back. So that part's not done. But everything else is done, and now it's totally different colors, and instead of a light background, it uses a dark background. Let's see if you can handle this. Do you like it? Just keep holding. All right, I'm going to invite Lonnie up in a second, and he'll hold because he's taller. Okay, you want to come on up? Hold on, Lonnie will hold it up too. You don't see the pinwheels in here?
No.
You don't feel like you see the pinwheel in the original sample, but now with the dark background it really pops?
Yes.
Isn't it gorgeous? Would you have noticed that the binding wasn't done? Should I have just kept my mouth shut? You would have noticed? Yeah, okay.
But we wouldn't have known that you dropped the ball.
Yeah, no, I dropped the ball. I take full responsibility.
We wouldn't have said anything. We would have noticed that we wouldn't have said
Yeah, anybody else would be fired. You're done. Isn't it gorgeous? So this is the smaller size. So I do believe this is the lap. Count the blocks for me. Is it 3 across, 4 down?
Yes.
Okay, so the one behind us is 4 by 5, so it's the twin. What you have here is the twin. And the twin takes 30 strips. Yeah, don't fall, Lonnie, please. I have another one to share. Okay, so the reason I didn't take this pattern up the first time my mom presented it to me at a Sunday night dinner was that I didn't know how to do this. I didn't know how to write it. I didn't know how to engineer it. And now that it's all done, and especially thanks to the help with our extreme quilt maker, Maureen, she helped me through it, it's really not hard. In fact, it's a fairly fast quilt. Very striking, wonderful, and fast. So fast, in fact, that Jan, who made this beautiful sample, kept the pattern and made another one. However, Jan had to do it her way. And so she did a dark background, and she did a different fabric for the pinwheels, and she used wild, crazy prints, and she allowed us to share it with you today. Do you want to see it? Yeah. Don't look yet. Don't look yet. Okay, here, wait. I'm afraid I didn't hear that joke. Is it beautiful? So, black and white, and yellow for the pinwheels. Okay, now I do believe she used yellow too for the outer border. But notice the pinwheels. Okay, now she did this. This is not written in the pattern. You will not get this information in the pattern. Because the pinwheels are only when 4 blocks come together. They are not in the borders, which means 4 blocks only have 1 yellow in the corner. The border blocks have 2 yellows in corners, and the center blocks have 4 yellows in the corners. I'm not doing that math for you. But isn't it beautiful? Oh, it's so striking. Like our pattern, she did duplicate the same fabric for the 4 long points and then the different fabric for the 4 short points. The very bold black background really sets off the black and whites, and then that yellow, of course, pops. And then the wonderful border print that just pulls it all together. So it was all pulled from her stash. And she said that the size of the quilt was determined by the amount of black background she had. I have this much, the quilt can be this big. Yeah, right? This is a real treat. We don't often have 3 samples, and certainly not one so different, so striking, and such her own twist. Like I said, you will not get that part in the pattern. Lovely? Yes. All right, while I have you, I'd like to show you our latest fat quarter pattern, which actually uses the same fabric as you see on the wall behind you. Are you good? This one's very cool. It is called Skyscrapers. But I need you, Lonnie. I'm just too short. I asked for height for Christmas. I didn't get it.
He lives with you.
So this uses either fat quarters or quarter yard cuts or 6-inch squares. 6-inch strips. Some manufacturers have pre-cuts that are 6-inch strips. Timeless Treasures is one of them. Timeless Treasures is a company that I designed for, and so this uses one pack, so they're called 6-pack, and it's 6-inch strips. So just with that one pack of 6-inch strips, you can make this quilt. You get 20 different fabrics, 6 inches each, and they're full width of fabric. And then we also determined that you can make the baby size of this with 10-inch squares. Same concept. Isn't it lovely? Fast, easy. Thank you for saying that. In case you didn't hear her, she said the colors are gorgeous. So this is designed by Sandy Thompson. She's our intro to quilting teacher here, and she has a number of patterns. And she has a book out with us called Save the Selvages. So she does quite a bit of design work, and we get to take advantage of it by creating these wonderful patterns in her name. So this is Sandy Thompson's Skyscrapers pattern. Another great way to use the sunburst fabric, or any fabric. And we've seen it in lots of different fabrics. Another great stash buster. All right. So any questions on the strip club pattern or the fat quarter pattern we just showed? Fat quarter pattern or 6-pack pattern? No questions? Nothing? Are you going to do it? I hope you do it. It's a beautiful design, great way to show off those 2.5-inch strips. And you know there's plenty of those on the market. So if you don't have any other questions, oh, here's another sample of that skyscraper. Thanks. Also incomplete binding. Isn't that cute? That's more the baby size. This features the Moda fabric dash. Can't remember what letter it was they're trying to spell out. Yeah, Morse code. By me and my sister. By the company, the design company, me and my sister, not by me and my... Anyway. So anyway, this is another example of skyscrapers. Cute? Yeah. Nice way to use 6.5-inch strips. And scraps. Okay, my friends, if you promise there are no other questions, I don't got nothing else to tell you. But how about we do it again next month? We'll have another pattern for 2.5-inch strips. Thank you all.